All right, we're back. I was going to ask you, what kind of music do you think is not shitty music?
Music.
Like, what kind of music?
The music in this land that I like, I like when guitarists do like weird stuff. You know, not just like the normal, like chords. You know.
Yeah.
I like when you put on different tones and different sounds on the guitar. I like drums that are not the same volume the whole time, you know?
Yeah.
I like to add the dynamics to the drums because that make you feel like you're experiencing a little bit more. So melodic stuff, different tones on guitar, a sick bass tone, and interesting drums. Dance music is kind of fun sometimes, because you have the different noises and all the different production that, you know, makes it kind of die down and get big again. But music that is like all the way to 11, the whole entire song, is too much. You gotta have the journey.
Yeah. Like a band comes to mind, Flesh God Apocalypse. Have you ever heard of them?
No.
It's like Italian opera with metal, like death metal, but Italian opera. It's like they use Italian vocal, like the opera vocals, where like their vocalist is insane. He can hit pitches I've like fucking never heard a guy hit before. Maybe Michael Jackson or something, but like this guy's crazy. Like he does these clean vocals that are just so like fucking powerful just on their own. And their drums and guitars, and they have a pianist who also plays keyboard, but he's like a legit classical pianist. Every album has a solo piano track. And they're always amazing. But he, like, all of those instruments are always at like 100%, just like fucking max volume. But the way they blend it is so fucking interesting. I don't know what it is, but like they're just constant noise, but it changes, it fluctuates. They figured out a way to change things with the intense volume that way. It's crazy.
What is their name?
Flesh God Apocalypse. I'll have to send it to you when we're done with the.
Yes.
I think you'd like it. It's one of those weird bands where there's like really nobody else like them, like, and they're like constant noise, but they do fluctuate. Like it's one of those weird like balances they've achieved. I don't know. It's cool.
I'll have to listen to them.
Are there any band names that you can come up with specifically that you like? Or
I like one band that comes to mind is Muse. Have you heard of Muse?
Yeah. Those guys do interesting stuff, man.
They have different sounds from every album. Some of it is very classical and slow, and some of it is very heavy and like fast.
Oh yeah.
And the singer, I think he might be an angel.
Maybe.
He hits some good notes too.
His voice is awesome. I'll give you that.
They do a good job. They are definitely superheroes for the land.
I think the first time I was introduced to Muse it's kind of embarrassing to say, but it was through Rock Band. You know, the Knights of Sidonia song on Rock Band.
Okay.
Like that's the video game, like where I heard the Muse and I was like, holy shit, like these guys, like they sound really, really weird. Like they're different than all the other bands on this fucking game, you know, and like all their music is just crazy different.
Yes.
And
in the albums, you have like the older albums that are more piano and more classical and more weird, and obviously they used acoustic drums and different bass sounds, and now their newer stuff, it's more electronic, but it still has ties back to those roots.
Well, I think a lot of those guys are actual like audio nerds. They actually care about how their stuff sounds.
Yes,
you know,
more bands should.
There's a lot of artists out there who just they're not really concerned with like the actual science of like how their stuff sounds and mixes together. Where they're just more concerned about like making the song and getting the song out, and like however you like they'll just talk to the label or whoever's in the studio and like however you think it's best, man. Just make it the best you can make it, and like whatever. Like all they want is to get their song out. When then there's other artists who are like, I want it to sound exactly like this, you know.
Yes,
and
you
like,
should know what you want it to sound like. It's your song.
Yeah.
Why would you go somewhere and say, well, whatever you want to do is fine with me?
I mean, there's some artists who they make some music and it still sounds fucking good. Even on paper, like it's still a solid, like, you know, composition. No matter who makes it, however they want it to sound.
Right.
The example I'm thinking of is the 9 Inch Nails song, Hurt. You know, Johnny Cash heard that song and he's like, he hit them up and said like, hey, can I do a version of this song? Yes. And they just gave it to him. They're like, you can have it. Like, you have the rights.
You are a legend.
It is your song now.
Go for it.
Yeah, they just gave him the rights to the song pretty much. And it's like that song is amazing. Like,
it's
I don't know.
Good song.
Yeah, it's amazing by Johnny Cash. Like, it sounds good by 9 Inch Nails, but like when Johnny Cash does it, it's like, holy fucking shit. Like, holy cow. Like, how can you like take something that's somebody else's and make it sound that way? You know? Yes.
There's a you've heard of YouTube, right?
Yeah.
On YouTube they have like trailers and stuff, like movies, commercials about movies. Mm-hmm. In one of them, I remember, it was on YouTube. It was about this pretend superhero named Wolverine. But he had a movie that came out about him, and they put that song in the trailer, and it was so good.
Yeah.
Like when I saw it, I wanted to cry a little bit.
Which movie was it?
It was the movie about Wolverine.
The Wolverine? Was it the latest one?
It was the one where he died at the end.
Yeah, I think that was the latest one.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one. I gotta watch it.
I mean, he didn't die. I didn't give anything away.
I already knew he dies. Whatever. Like, I already knew it.
It was watch the trailer.
It's been out for several years. It's okay.
Like, don't watch the movie. The movie's sad. Watch the trailer.
It's a Marvel movie, so I don't really care about spoilers.
Yes.
In Marvel movies.
Because they don't mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything. Like, they're so far off from the comics at this point. Who cares?
And they're going to bring him back to life anyways, I think, right?
Who knows?
He has a new movie coming out.
Yeah, probably. Are they going to recast him? Is it still Hugh Jackman?
I believe they're going to... Yes, he's going to be in the movie.
What is he, like 60? That's crazy.
Him and I were on the same diet when we, do our exercises. That's why we both look ripped.
Nobody will know. Unfortunately, you have to wear your costume all the time, so it's...
Right.
They'll never know.
Well, me and Wolverine, we would get along pretty well. I'm impenetrable. He could never hurt me,
Is it Wolverine or Hugh Jackman?
It's Logan.
Logan. So you'd get along with Logan, the actual character.
Yes.
He's pretty hardcore, man. I don't think he likes friends. I think he likes to be alone.
Well.
And he likes to be with Jean Grey.
Who doesn't want to be with Jean
Grey? Right? The way they draw her.
Yeah.
But so any other bands come to mind? Did you just got that one, or
that is a big one. Incubus. Have you heard of Incubus?
I like Incubus. They do a lot of interesting stuff too.
They do, and they have a song called "Pardon Me."
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard of it?
Yeah, I like that song a lot.
It's on the radio sometimes. They have not done much lately, but I've watched one of their performances live. Superheroes.
Yeah, those guys are...
Everybody was still alive after the show.
That's good.
Yes.
Nobody died.
They make interesting music, though, because it has different noises on the guitars. They have a DJ who makes different noises.
Yeah, just like the scratching and stuff in the middle of the tracks. That sounds cool. Like,
Sometimes they do just like a solo of only that.
Yeah, just scratching. Like,
Yes.
actually, in that song, "Part of Me," right? They have a scratch solo.
Yes.
It's either "Part of Me" or there's another one on that album that's really good. Stellar. I think Stellar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one. They might. I don't know. Both of those songs are really good. They're from the same album.
Yes.
But yeah, man, bands like that do like what kind of genre would you even call that? What genre is Incubus?
Rock.
Yeah, right. I don't think they like the bands that are hard to put into a genre are like some of my favorites.
Yes.
You know.
Well, I mean, they have the guitar, they have the bass, they have a DJ, they have a drummer and a singer.
Yeah.
You know, they have like different funk elements. I mean, they started in the 90s, right?
Right. Yeah.
And that was like nu metal, funk, rock, like different things. Like Red Hot Chili Peppers came out around like late 80s, early 90s.
And then you had like Korn and like Static X, stuff like that. So just wild as fuck. Stuff. Yeah.
And like the different like grunge stuff. 90s was weird for music.
Like Linkin Park.
Yeah.
They're like more like 2000s.
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely had influence from like the 90s. That weird kind of like, because like they did in the 90s that's when they started trying to introduce like, you know, electronic sounds and like rap and like hip hop kind of stuff to metal. Yes.
They had the drum machines.
Yeah.
And just different instruments. They were doing all this weird analog stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know what you mean. Like they put a bunch of MIDI stuff into it and backing tracks and whatever.
Yeah.
Just trying to find something new.
Different guitar effects. Like I like the fact that the guitarist, he has so many different pedals on his pedal board. He makes his guitar sound different sometimes, you know? And that's interesting. It keeps your attention. You say, what the heck is that?
Right. Yeah. All the different effects they just put in randomly for like from song to song.
Yes. But it makes it more enjoyable because it keeps your attention rather than just the same like jaunt for 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. I can't get into that rhythm style. Like my buddy Attila, I've had him on this podcast like twice, but he sometimes sends me some bands like Hatebreed. I don't know if you ever heard of them, but
I've heard of them.
They're super rhythm based. Where all their songs are like dun 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 dun. Like it's like rhythm, you know. You can bang your head to it, but it's like there's no melodies. There's no like
right.
There's no music.
This is good. Like, this is good for 20 seconds, and then after that, show me something different.
I just know how the rest of the song is gonna go.
Tell me more of the story. Is this it?
Yeah, it's like I'm sure the lyrics have something to do with it, but I'm not huge into lyrics, honestly. I'm way more into how things sound and like their melodies and like
or like the things beyond the sound.
Yeah, like I like how vocals sound, you know, which is why I'm kind of into metal mostly because the vocals are more just like another instrument, where it's not so much like what they're trying to say, more than how they're trying to sound. Mm-hmm. You know, Black Dahlia Murder, they sing about all sorts of crazy like murder this and like this thing dies and you know like it's all dark and fucking angry, mysterious kind of like, you know, fantasy lyrics. You know, they go into like all these fantasy stories and stuff sometimes. They have a song about Evil Dead, the movie. So it's like, you know, they go all over the place, but it's not really about the lyrics specifically. And it's about how Trevor's voice matches the guitars as an instrument. So it sounds like the guitars and the vocals are actually mixing together rather than the vocalist trying to get a message out with the song. Like that sounds too cheesy to me. But that's just my preference.
That's pop music.
Yeah.
When pop music. Let's put this terrible beat and then we have the singer sing and we make the singer's voice loud so everybody can hear the story. And it's probably about somebody breaking up with you or a tractor or something. You know?
Right. Something to do with relationships or sex or drugs. Like that's
all the above.
Yep.
Gold.
If it concludes all three, you're good.
Yes. The stuff that I put out, it tells my story because people have to know where I come from and my plan. So my next song is about building a website, and the next one is because I have to protect my IP.
Protect your IP?
My intellectual property. Everybody trying to steal my songs. So I wrote a song about it.
Have you had somebody try to steal your song already?
Everybody. They're the best songs in the world, so who wouldn't want to take them for themselves?
That's good. It's a good point.
So I have to protect my IP, and you have to be like a citizen, and you have to file with the government like, this is my song. Nobody take my song, or you will die, or something like that. I wrote a song about it to warn people. Like,
they have to pay.
Right.
They don't die.
Right.
Not here. They have to pay money.
Well, then they give me money so I can make a video.
Exactly.
So that's like as far as I've gotten so far. The next one after that is because I need buddies, so I ask for friends on the next one.
Are you gonna have people audition for a group so you can play on stage again?
I would like to. Right now, I just have to perform to tracks that I build myself. But I don't know any other superhero musicians in the area that can play.
They would have to disguise themselves on stage, huh?
Well, they need to be superheroes. Otherwise, we won't be able to defeat anybody.
Is a disguise required to be a superhero?
You have to have your super suit on, yes.
Okay.
If you do not, then I will give you the shirt.
A shirt?
I will give you a shirt to wear.
I guess it's a pretty easy compromise.
Yes.
I think you should require him to wear a suit.
I would like to.
They have to.
And so far, 0 people have wanted to put on a suit. You don't even need superpowers. Man. Just pretend, you know? I mean, nobody's going to know.
It's hard to do on stage, man.
Exactly, and I do it every time.
All right, well.
It's not the most. I mean, the suit has flaws, of course, you know? Sometimes you can't see all of your peripheral because your eye holes are only so big.
Well, you got to fix your eye holes. Yours look fine. You look like you got all your peripheral vision. You're fine.
I'm pretty close. I can't see back here.
Most people can't. You're good. Oh. You're fine.
Well, I would like to have like a mirror or a camera or something so I could see behind me.
Camera on the back of your head?
Yes. Good
That'd
idea.
be crazy.
I will add it.
Well, I hope you can find a team that's willing to put on the uniforms with you.
Right.
That would be cool. See a whole band up there in uniforms ready to save the world.
Yes. I mean, lots of people are interested, and then I tell them, oh, you have to be good at music too. There's like nobody good at music here that wants to put on a super suit.
Not a lot, no.
They're like, I will come straight from work and I will wear my work clothes on stage. And I say, what the fuck?
That's not okay.
No. Who's afraid of a guy that works at Walmart?
Yeah, I'd be much more afraid of somebody in a uniform.
Like a full-on stealth suit.
I'd be
with a cape.
I'd be a little worried.
So like most people, when they come up to my show, they don't know if I'm dangerous or not. So I tell them, come up to the front. You know, I will not bite you. I will not attack you with any of my superhero powers.
Unless you make shitty music.
Yes. But I don't. I make the best music in this whole town, probably in the whole world.
But you don't like combat shitty music with violence, right? Well,
I mean, I accidentally killed the guy once.
Really?
It was excitement.
It was over shitty music?
No, it was documented on my last video. I punched the guy because I was happy, and he ended up dying.
Hopefully he died happy.
Did you watch my video?
I watched it. I don't remember that specific part.
Yes,
I'll have to look for that.
I was very happy. I had my team because we were gonna take on, you know, those influencers, right? They're all over the internet, and they try to sell you stupid shit that you don't need.
Fake ass voices.
Yes, they're stupid voices that are not even real, and they'd say, "Look at me, I have this life, and I like this product." But anyways, there's this asshole who is trying to be an influencer. We had to destroy him. My whole team dies on the way to going over to this guy's warehouse. So I mean, I had to defeat him myself. That was a brutal one. I went for the villain, this influencer. I had to go into him and I just beat him up. He was like putting on makeup and being weird. He was like showing off all these pedals that are for like villains and stuff.
Like guitar pedals?
Yeah.
For villains?
Yeah, they were the evil guitar pedals.
Evil guitar pedals.
Yes.
What made them evil?
The names and the manufacturers. They were like mostly black pedals.
They're probably made by like slave children or something.
Maybe.
Most likely.
Yeah, he set up a bomb inside one of the pedals. He was trying to blow up the whole world.
With one pedal?
Yes.
I feel like you need to connect it to a few different bombs for that.
Well, maybe it was connected to bombs, but he pushed it and there was a big boom.
So do you blow up the world or not?
No. I got to him before the whole world was able to blow up. He blew up like a portion or something. He blew up my headquarters, that's for sure.
That's fucked up, man.
Because we all woke up and we were in a daze, and I was like, fuck this guy. He's busy trying to control our lives by putting on his stupid videos and his makeup and promoting his stupid product. He teamed up with Truly. Can you believe it?
I can. They have a lot of money.
So he teamed up with Truly, and he's like drinking Truly and showing off Truly throughout the whole entire thing. And I'm like, fuck this guy. He puts on makeup and he wants to like sell his stupid stuff, and he thinks he's all good by making his stupid faces and stuff. And so I got my team together and I trained them, and then we went over to his warehouse and I killed him.
Well, I hope it didn't get to too many people.
Well, unfortunately, on the way over, my whole team died.
Is he gone?
I killed him, as far as I know.
And you're on the way to making a new team?
I have to make a new team.
Are you making progress or?
I put it kind of on the back burner because every time I train a team, they suck and they die. In my first video, everybody sucked. I don't think, maybe like 2 of them died. I don't remember.
Well, be a little more careful with who you recruit then, maybe.
Right. I don't know the right ads to put out, like must be able to stay alive.
That's a good one. I don't know, man. Maybe already has a superhero uniform?
Needs a super suit. I had one guy
already
show
has
up,
a super suit.
he was naked except he had a cape. Like, what kind of a super suit is that?
Minimal? Just
Like
a
his-
minimal super suit?
He was like so emotionally like off. I got mad at him because he couldn't perform, and then he walk away.
Maybe he wasn't actually there to help you.
He was lying, huh?
He had a different motivation.
He might be a villain too.
In other words, yeah, probably
All these people with their like,
selfish motives.
yes.
I'm sure you could find somebody, man. I'll put the feelers out. Maybe somebody will be willing to help you out with your group.
Yes. Well, I would like to have at least a drummer or something. How fun is it to watch one superhero perform on stage? He might be the best in the world, but I mean, nobody wants to go to a show with one person performing.
Not unless they're playing all of the instruments, which that's hard.
Yes.
That's really
And
hard.
to do that in a super suit, I mean, I'd have to have really good vision. Oh, shit.
That's right. Have you seen those one-man band videos?
Yes.
Just move that a little closer. Yeah, have you seen those one-man band videos where they got like the drum kit on their back and they have like strings like to their hands? They're pretty
No.
much controlling the drum set as like a puppet on their back. And like they have like some sort of string instrument, guitar or something. And then they have like foot pedals that control more drums.
All right.
And like they can play guitar and do the drums at the same time.
Is the guitar programmed through MIDI?
No. They don't. It's all live. It's just analog instruments, and sometimes they have a harmonica on their neck, like strapped like near, so they can play harmonica while they're playing guitar and doing the drums. Like it's.
But is
it's
it
crazy.
like the guitar sounds the same the whole entire time?
Yeah, it like they do it live. Like it's a street performer thing.
Is it
like they do it on the street with a hat in front of them? Like you know.
Do they have is it like a fuzz face that they're performing with, that they control the tone through the volume knob? How do they make
it's
dynamics?
Acoustic usually.
Oh, acoustic.
It's all acoustic.
Okay.
It's usually an acoustic guitar. Sometimes they've got a guitar that has an amp, like maybe a small pocket amp they put on their like belt or something.
It's not the tube amp.
No, it's usually like just an electronic amp, or an acoustic guitar. Sometimes it's an electric acoustic where they amp up the acoustic, you know. But most of the time, it's just like the most impressive part is the drum kit on their back. They have a couple cymbals, like the bass drum is like on a string that goes down their leg to their foot. So when they tap their foot, it hits the bass drum. And like they have the cymbals for like their left hand. If they like move their hand a certain way, it hits the cymbal. And then they can tap the guitar a certain way and it'll hit a snare. Like it's just some weird kind of.
You'll have to send me that.
Yeah, it's weird, man. It's crazy. These one man bands, like they do some cool stuff.
Which cities are they in?
I mean, I don't know if there's any here in Phoenix, but I bet you anything there's a few in like Oregon and Seattle, like you know those kind of hipster places. They got a lot of crazy art.
Mm-hmm.
Any of those art cities, like I'm sure there's a lot of them in San Diego, maybe New York. But anywhere where there's like a copious amount of like street performers, or like that's
in the subway.
Maybe, yeah, like the New York subway. I bet there's like a one man band playing somewhere right now. Like it's not like a super uncommon. It's a thing. Like you can type that in and find a whole bunch of people who do it. But it's just really impressive how one person plays like 3 instruments,
mm-hmm.
and they'll like move off the harmonica and sing, and then like go back to the harmonica while playing. Like it's so crazy.
Right.
I don't know how people do it.
It's crazy.
I don't know. I can barely play guitar. But like I've only made like one maybe 2 songs, and they're not even complete.
No.
I just write a few verses and maybe pluck a few melodies, but I've never tried to make a complete song out of any of it. I can't imagine what it's like to play 3 instruments at once. That's nuts.
Do you want to be in a band?
The closest I was into a band was just the manager of a band. I was just trying to like help them with marketing and, you know, like getting out and trying to increase their reach.
Do you have a marketing background?
Nope. Doing it all from scratch. So I'm just kind of like thinking like, what would I want to see from a metal band? What would get me interested in a metal band? And then I try to like transfer those kind of ideas to the band and saying like, you guys should do this, you know, based on what I haven't seen in the market. Like, what do I want more in the market? I want to see more of this, this, and this. Like, you guys should do more of this, this, and this. Like, I feel like more people would want to jump onto that, you know? And it got to the point where it was like they needed to make more music before I could do more marketing. And it kind of like, I don't know, things just didn't line up right. And I had to eventually move away from that and just focus on this podcast to make this like grow. But that was the closest I was ever in a band. I never really wanted to try to play an instrument in a band. That seems like a huge obligation.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just not that good at a single instrument.
More like the brains.
I would rather manage. I would rather like work on marketing and like what a band needs to you know, function. I want to be the guy who's putting all the pieces together. I'm not super interested in being on stage in front of all the people. Like, that sounds like an anxiety nightmare to me.
What? Ooh, I need.
Need another one? Go for it, man.
Hold on.
Reload.
Mother Road Brewing.
Mother Road Brewing. Tower Station. What's the name? Is it Mother Road Brewing or is it Tower Station?
Tower Station is the name of the beer.
Okay. Tower Station IPA.
Yes.
By Mother Road Brewing.
Okay,
Gotcha.
so you were a manager. What does a superhero band need? What do you want to see more from superhero musicians?
More members, for one. I want to see a stage full of people playing instruments.
A stage full of people. Like
Maybe at least 4 people. You know? Gotta have a drummer, guitarist, a bassist, and a vocalist. Like 4 people.
What if the guitarist is the vocalist?
That's impressive. Hard to find.
I'm impressive because I do that.
That is impressive. Not a lot of people can do that like well. There's people that can do it.
John Mayer.
Yeah. There's people that are good at it and people who are who can accomplish it. You know.
Sheryl Crow.
Not too familiar.
Is she good or does she just get by?
Name a song.
That Winding Road.
I'd say pretty good. Pretty good. I've heard people that get by and they don't make millions of dollars. So
let's see who gets by.
Who gets by?
Which band has a singer that gets by as a guitarist? Blink-182. They get by.
They don't. Yeah, their music isn't super vocally. It's more lyrics than vocals. It's more about what they're saying than how it sounds.
I jerk off you and you jerk off me.
Yeah, like their songs are mostly like mostly about lyrical content than vocal quality. You know, he doesn't have to sing well. He just has to sing about the right things. Like that's what it was.
Yes.
You know, it's the same with like Offspring. It's not like the vocal quality was excellent. It's like it sounded unique, but they sang about things that people cared about, you know?
Like what?
I don't know, rebellion.
Okay.
Just being a fucking rebel, pretty much. You can chalk it all up to that. But yeah, that's like the alternative kind of what punk turned into kind of vibe.
Rebel.
Yeah, just rebellion in general. It's like Rage Against the Machine kind of was like a heavier version of that, you know. Just rebel.
The thing I like about Rage is the guitarist is really weird.
Yeah, absolutely.
He makes cool sounds with the guitar.
Yeah, for sure. That guy's crazy. Who was that again? It was
Tom Morello.
Tom Morello, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That guy's nuts. He does some cool shit. I've heard some of his other stuff outside of Rage, and it just sounds so like unique.
It's probably about the same.
Yeah, I mean it's got the same kind of like sounds, but like
right.
He's the only one doing those sounds.
Right. Know? He has his thing and he does it.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I like when you have your thing and you do it well.
Yeah, I think that when somebody does create a unique style though, like it kind of like concretes it in history, and then everyone is like afraid to sound like that, you know,
which is good.
Like the example is like Pantera. I'm thinking of Pantera, like Dimebag, how he would just do those crazy wails on guitar, like in Cemetery Gates and stuff like that. And you know, he would just do these crazy wild, like, you know, using the whammy bar and all that crazy stuff.
And they say, your music sucks. It sounds just like Dimebag.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just like, oh, you're just trying to sound like Dimebag.
Yes.
It's like, well, he sounded cool.
That's the problem with that I have with lots of music. It sounds the same. It's like, why not just listen to the first person that made it good, you know?
Yeah.
Instead of like the 12 copycats afterwards.
Yeah, but then you got Weird Al. He can make a song good again.
Yes.
Have you seen that movie?
We are all surgeons.
Have you seen that new that new Weird Al movie?
Mm-mm.
There's a new movie. I don't know if it's like super new. It might be like a year old or something, but it's called Weird, the Al Yankovic story, and it stars Daniel Radcliffe. So it's Harry Potter as Weird Al, and it's like a version of Weird Al's story. It's like totally false, like totally like blown up, falsified, like. But it's so hilarious. Like
his story is not that interesting. They had
it's not as interesting as the movie. They definitely made the movie like way over the top, like on purpose. It's Weird Al. Like he had a lot to do with the production of that movie. So of course he made some crazy stories out of it.
Made it weirder.
Yeah, he made it way weird.
He's like, well, I'm not actually weird.
Like he had this whole crazy relationship with Madonna and all this, like. And then like there's an interview with him. He said he only had like a 90-second interaction with Madonna in his whole life. But like the whole story was about him and Madonna like doing this crazy like scheme or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, it's funny because it's like the whole movie it's Daniel Radcliffe talking, and whenever there's a song that plays, it's Weird Al's voice. So Weird Al will sing his song. But it's Daniel Radcliffe talking as the character the whole
I'll
time.
have to watch that.
It's hilarious. Weird Al's actually in it. He's in the movie. He cameos as like a music executive. He's like the label producer. He's like the label executive. You know, he's like, like what makes you think you're so good? He's like talking to Daniel Radcliffe like he's a piece of shit. It's like
to himself.
Yeah, to himself, pretty much. It's just like a perfect position for him. But it's good.
Maybe that was like a pivotal part in his career.
Yeah,
someone was talking shit to him.
Super important.
Yeah,
the labels like talking shit to him. Like they make it really intense. Like oh, you suck. What makes you think you're gonna be so good? Like
right.
They really rub it in his face. So obviously that was important to him.
Yeah,
that's a good movie though.
I'll have to check it out.
I forgot what it's on. I think it's on HBO. I'm not sure. There's so many streaming services.
Right.
I don't know. You could probably pirate it somewhere.
Do you have it?
The movie?
Can we pirate it right now?
I could find a site. Maybe Solar Movie. I don't know. That's an old one.
I don't know. I don't watch TV much.
Couch Tuner. These are just like websites I used to use in the Navy whenever I didn't want to like pay for anything.
Do they pay for anything over there anyways?
Well, back in the day, it used to be easy to find websites where you could just stream stuff for free, regardless of whether like, it just came out or not.
Like porn?
Well, there's always sites for those.
For free?
Yeah. I'm talking about like movies that just came out. You could like find a website to stream it like the day after. Like the new fucking John Wick movie or whatever. But
I saw John Wick. He had a cameo in SpongeBob.
John Wick or Keanu Reeves?
It was John Wick. They look the same.
Yeah, so does Hugh Jackman and Wolverine.
They're like the same person.
Pretty much.
But this one was John Wick. You could tell.
John Wick is in SpongeBob?
Yeah, he was like in a portal looking thing, and he was like talking to him.
Oh, that was the SpongeBob movie.
Yeah.
That wasn't John Wick. That was actually Keanu Reeves.
It looked just like John Wick.
Yeah, I think he played himself in that movie. I remember seeing that.
It was the same guy that was the quarterback in that one movie. The Replacements.
No idea. I never saw it.
John Wick, quarterback for The Replacements.
It's like from the movie Speed with the bus.
That's the worst movie in the world.
Down.
Have you seen that movie?
If they slow down, they blow up.
That is the stupidest movie. I watched that movie, and the whole time I was like...
That was his first action movie, dude.
What?
That was the first movie. He was like an action hero.
Have you seen that movie?
Yeah.
It's so bad.
It is. It's so bad.
There are so many holes in that plot.
Oh, man. I'm glad he got The Matrix.
Yes.
Because that was not his best action movie. Like, if that was his legacy as action movies, it was bad.
I think it's forever a classic for sure. And even better than that when the Speed 2.
Oh, yeah. They made a sequel.
Because the first one wasn't bad. It was so bad.
We need the superhero to combat shitty movies.
Oh my gosh. You know what? I'll do it.
I'll do that too.
I'll do it. I need to put out a visual of my story anyways. I would like some sort of director or something to just video me and I could tell them what to do. And
well, I know a guy. He was actually on my podcast for one of the episodes. His name is Keith Obit. He does a podcast called the Bogcast, and he recently made a series called The Sound Guy about a sound engineer in the metal scene in Phoenix. Like, it's a comedy series about a sound guy. So like he might be able to put together a superhero movie about saving the world from shitty music.
Yeah.
He's technically a filmmaker. He's made a series all on his own. Like,
let's do it. What's his name?
Keith Obit.
Keith. All right, Keith. Email me.
I'll tag him in this episode. All right, man. Well, do you have any other plans?
Once I'm able to perform again, I would like to perform. Other than that, I will be launching a corn store, and I will be working on like guitar noises, like effects boxes, the pedals.
Okay.
And creating more music. I like to do music videos for all of my songs. That way the audience can understand more of my story. Because in the songs I write more metaphorically than literally. And so people will not say, oh, he has a website, finally. They'd have to see that through the video, that I have a website. And then they could visit my website and, I could save them from all the shitty music. Aside from that, not so much. Just create more music and more. I need to find more superheroes though.
No, I know what you mean there, and I think I'm gonna try to like I said, I'm gonna try to put out the feelers on that and see if I can get you some more people. Because I'd love to see a whole band of superheroes.
That would be great, and I'm tired of setting up everything by myself.
Yeah, you and me both, man.
Like, it's one thing to show up to a show and perform, but when you have to set up everything, and then what happens after a song? I need to take a drink of my beer. Otherwise, I won't be able to talk. My voice is so dry,
Oh, I get it.
And especially in this heat of this town, it's so hot, I sweat a lot.
In that uniform, yeah, man.
So I need an air-conditioned suit. If you know how to do air conditioning for suits, then contact me. That way I could perform better. I need very good musicians, probably the best. Look really attractive, otherwise no one will want to watch us.
I know a super good drummer who only does one thing. He only does one project. He's an Arcanaut. I'll talk to him. See if he wants to save the world with you.
Will he wear a cape?
I don't think he would be opposed to it.
Okay.
We'll see. I'll have to talk to him.
Yeah. I love good drummers. There's about 5 good drummers in Arizona.
Unfortunately.
and they're all in like 12 bands.
Yep. The one I know, he's only in one.
Only in one band.
That's why I'm like, maybe.
Right. The beats in my songs are not hard. It's the guitar that's hard.
They can't be more complicated than Arcanaut. Like,
right.
They are crazy. So
all songs are 4/4.
That's good. I'm sure he could do it.
Maybe nothing more than like 32nd notes or 16th notes.
He plays fast. I'm sure it won't be a problem.
All right. My fastest tempo is 176.
I think his fastest is like I think the fastest Arcanaut song is like 210.
Double bass.
Yeah.
Triple bass.
I don't know what he does, but it sounds cool.
All
He's
right.
real good.
What kind of drums does he play?
I mean, Arcanaut is like a death metal band, so it's super fast and like really heavy. A lot of their influences are like Lamb of God and Gojira, but they play fast. Like think of like the fastest Pantera songs, and like the fastest like Lamb of God songs. You know, like super melodic, but he plays. He can switch up like on a dime and just play super fast. Like his talent is way beyond what he can. I guess what I'm trying to say is like he's really humble. Whenever he plays something super crazy, you try to compliment him. He's like, "Nah, man, I fucked that up so bad."
Oh, good.
And you're like, "Dude, no. Like you're amazing. Like I don't know anyone who can do what you can do." And he's like, "Thank you."
I will tell him when he sucks.
He's he'll tell himself far before that.
We will have two people that tell him when he sucks. Me and him.
All right. Well, he'll probably perform to your expectations and beyond. This guy's crazy.
What's his name?
Attila.
Oh.
Attila, he was on episode 1 and another one, I think 11. But he was on a couple episodes with me already.
I'll watch him.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's the very first episode was Attila. It sounds pretty rough, but
does he drum on the video?
No, he doesn't drum on the podcast. I haven't had anybody with an instrument on the podcast, except Luis. Luis does the intro music. He's actually the lead, or he's a backup singer and guitarist for Arcanaut. So he's in the same band as Attila, but he does the intro music for me.
All right.
The guy doing the vocals and the guitars is the same person.
All right.
But
you have your team.
Sort of. I haven't really hung out with them in a while, but I'll get back to it. I need to talk to Dan, the other guitarist. I had him on recently, and I want to get him to do more guitar riffs for me, so I can do like highlights, you know, so I can like fill in like a little bit of guitar riff in the transitions and stuff. I think that would be cool.
Yeah.
I'll even tag him in it. I don't care. Music by Luis and Dan. Like, sure.
Give credit where it's due, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. But, yeah, so if you got plans on bringing more people on, definitely let me know.
I would love to bring on more people.
Awesome.
As long as they don't die and they know how to play an instrument.
Do they have to fight?
No, I mean, I can handle all the fighting. It's not the fighting, it's the music. Because we save the world through music.
Through music. So as long as they can play, they're good.
Yes, because everybody in the shitty bands, they will be like, oh shit, they're really good. I have to go somewhere else. I cannot like destroy people anymore.
So what do you need then? Like for band members? What's a good list? You need a drummer? We already know that.
Oh, drummer, bass.
Okay.
Tambourine, clarinet, oboe.
Let's back it off a little bit. What do you do?
I play guitar.
You do guitar?
Yes.
Do you need someone for vocals, or you do vocals too?
I do vocals. I have the most beautiful voice in the whole world.
So you want to do both?
You know what? I'd love to find somebody who can perform guitar, because then I could talk to the crowd better. I can get more in their face. The problem with playing guitar and vocals is you have to put the mic on top of a stand so you can play guitar. So you are stuck in one spot.
Yes.
And it works as long as you play boring music or you have more people in your band. Because what happens? After the song ends, I have to take a drink of water. And what does the crowd see? They see a guy who's a superhero and very handsome, but he's stepping away from the stage to take a drink of beer.
Or water.
Or beer. They have to drink something to wet their palate so they can sing better again. So then all of a sudden the crowd says, oh, the song is over and I get to go home. But really, there's more to the show. So a full band would be great. And if I could only do vocals and show off my beautiful voice, then it would be great because the band can then perform and I can hold the microphone in my hand and I can move around on the stage.
Okay, so your ultimate goal is to be the vocalist.
Right? Yes, vocalist. Maybe like just rhythm guitar or something simple that for the verses I can step away, you know?
Or for certain solos, you can pick up a guitar to do a solo or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would be able to play different parts because right now I just play like what I have to play.
Right.
So guitar, bass, drums, synthesizer.
So you would need guitar, bass, drums, and synthesizer. So 4 more people?
3 to 4 more people would be great. And you know what? If I want tambourine on a song or cowbell, you know what? There's people on the stage or off the stage that can come up and play it.
Right.
Get some crowd participation. They get saved extra hard.
Super saved.
I will save the fuck out of them.
You could be a part of the fucking world saving.
No longer are you just a bystander. You are now a superhero.
That sounds excellent, man.
Oboe, clarinet, flute, violin, whatever. Everything makes beautiful noise as long as you do it right.
Yeah, I agree with that, man.
Where are all the metal bands with the clarinets?
There's got to be one out there, man. You know, I was doing some live audio, and the main audio engineer, his name is Jesse. He introduced me to a band. It has a name that has Russian characters. I don't know how to pronounce it, but literally the album art was the Grim Reaper walking through snow with an accordion, like the Grim Reaper holding an accordion. It looks like an oil painting, you know, and it was death metal with an accordion, like accordion parts, like in the chorus and shit. And it sounded so fucking good. It's like a death metal band with an accordion. Like, what the fuck? Like, you can put that shit in anything.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, more bands should have different instruments. Why do we limit ourselves to guitar and bass and drums? There's like 10 other instruments.
Record labels.
You get into different cultures and they have their different instruments that were all used to kill off all their villains from their time.
Yeah, it's mostly record labels telling the artists they know what people want to hear.
They want to hear breakdown. You play breakdown and then you sell records.
We need more female vocals. You need female vocals or we won't sell anything. I'm like
so like Muse, they came into town couple months ago.
Right.
I ended up going there for one of their songs, Nights of Sidonia. Their bassist, he walks all the way out. Have you seen their stage before?
I haven't, no.
They have the little walkway.
A catwalk, like out there?
He was walking just like a cat. But he had 2 people walking with him. They were in costumes. He goes out there and he starts playing harmonica.
With a guitar?
I don't
playing harmonica with a guitar on him?
I don't remember if he had the bass on him. He was the bassist. But he walked all the way out there and he starts playing harmonica for way too long. But probably a minute, 30 seconds. And then they start Nights of Sidonia. But it was a weird event and everybody was looking at him like, what the fuck? You know, you're going all the way to the end and with these people that were dressed up as like, I don't know, demons or something.
Monks. Demon monks.
Yeah. And he just starts.
Yeah. Like a Black Sabbath song or something.
Yeah. But, you know, different instruments bring different attention.
Yeah.
And when you have those things, people say, oh, that's different. I don't like it at all. And then they hear the rest of the song and they're like, oh, that part was okay. And so you get different people listening.
Yeah, it's contrast.
Yes. All these bands, they try to sound the same.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
They're like, there was this band that performed in 2005 and I like their sound. So I want to sound just like them, only shittier.
Only more like Kanye.
like more like I did this in my bedroom instead of a professional studio.
Well, some people do some cool stuff in their bedroom, though.
I do lots of cool things in my bedroom.
I was about to bring up Billie Eilish, but it would be kind of weird after that comment.
Does she do weird things in her bedroom?
No, she. That's how she made her music when she started out. It was her and her brother made music on Logic. They recorded on Logic and just mixed it on Logic, and I think he still mixes the music on Logic and just off his laptop.
Don't they get it mixed and produced in studio though?
Yes, but they do all of their producing, and like, you know, they make the tracks and the actual product on whatever they want, and then they bring it into a studio, and of course they get like the professional treatment and run it through the ringer of like all the audio gear and whatever the fuck they have.
Right.
But they make all of it just at least the first couple albums they made it just in a room, like on a computer program.
I like some of her stuff. For me, I can be listening to the radio, not even know when her song comes on.
It's poppy.
It sounds like there's no like high end, or like the volume is so low on her songs. All you hear is this is.
Yeah, it's kind of a lower chill kind of.
And then you're like, what is that noise? And then you realize you're halfway through Billie Eilish's song.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But you know, it's fun. You hear like 12 harmonies.
It's interesting. Like, it's interesting music. It doesn't sound just like everything else.
Yes, it is much different, which is good.
I just think it's interesting how like they made a name for themselves. I mean, I'm including her brother because it's like pretty much her producer.
Right.
But like they made a name for themselves just like out of their fucking bedroom.
Right.
Know? Like right out of their own home. They created something that was worth fucking sharing with the world.
Right.
I think that's interesting just in itself.
Right.
I'm not a super huge fan of poppy music like that. I'm super into like heavier, faster, like, you know, in your face, like fucking crazy stuff.
Right.
I'm more into intense music. That's the opposite of intense.
Oh,
so, like it's not really my style, but
if intense is up here,
yeah, Billie Eilish is
down here,
somewhere else. But yeah, it's interesting to see like how different people can make their stuff sound like.
Mm-hmm.
It's still poppy, but it's so unique.
Right. And it's different pop than other pop, like Kesha pop.
Yeah, like Kesha pop.
Kesha pop is like this, like you have fun, and then like Billie Eilish, you just like kind of sit like this.
Yeah, like ketamine.
Like less fun, but like more, like I'm more emotional and, you know.
Yeah, it feels a little more real, to be honest. Like it's a little closer to reality.
Yeah, because nobody wakes up feeling like Mick Jagger.
No, not or P. Diddy. None of them.
No.
Maybe only Mick Jagger or P. Diddy. But even them, they probably have some sort of imposter syndrome they're dealing with, you know?
Yes.
They probably feel like they're way too big. I wonder if that ever fades away after a while, the imposter syndrome.
If you feel too big?
If you, like, get rid of that feeling. If you're like, I'm just as big as I should be. You know, do you ever get to that point? Like, or are you always like, I shouldn't be here?
I mean, I should be in my other land, but whatever happened, and now I'm here. And now I have to deal with whatever happens here.
Yeah.
So might as well make the most of it and
Good
kill
luck.
all the villains and stuff, you know?
Good luck. It's not getting any better.
Like, when will it end?
I don't know. Oh, that's a good question. When the next comet hits, I don't know.
And then the next batch of aliens, they like create their own people and they put in their own pyramids.
Yeah, I think the aliens hit here long before the last comet impact.
Maybe the first aliens were dinosaurs.
They probably watched dinosaurs. They watched them. They're
Okay.
Like, these guys are crazy.
Okay, so what happened? Aliens come. they watch dinosaurs grow. They say, this sucks. They're just a bunch of like animals and they eat each other. So they call their buddies up and they say, hey, come crash this party. So the next batch of aliens comes. They say, we already put the pyramids in. Like, we're good with that. You don't have to put pyramids in or any weird stuff. Just like blow up this place.
You're mixing the dinosaurs and the pyramids together.
Like they all go hand in hand. It's stuff we cannot explain. It's way before like
anything before like 10,000 years is pretty much up in the air.
Yes, as far as I know, I can only look on Wikipedia to find answers.
Yeah,
and that's all they have is like aliens came down and destroyed the dinosaurs. That's all I know.
Yeah. I don't know, man. The dinosaurs, they were around for a long time. Millions. How, like 40 million years or something? It was like the window of the dinosaurs.
Billion years. Right?
The Earth is like 4 billion years. So I think the dinosaurs were alive, like from the earliest evidence we have of dinosaurs to like the latest evidence of dinosaurs. I think there's like a window of like fucking 100 million years or something. Like, and then like the most populated the dinosaurs were like a 40 million year window, like millions and millions of years, something that's totally incomprehensible. And like we've only been here for like what, 50,000 years. Like that's not even close to like the dinosaurs. Like right. Dinosaurs evolved for millions and millions of years before any fucking humans came around. So I don't even know how, like nobody really knows how humans came to be, like how bipedal primates happened.
Right. They have science and it's like, well, okay. First we started from being this big to then having this big, and eventually we just get bigger.
Yeah. They can find some of the branches, but not all of them.
Right. Maybe the humans were fish. We became fish first, right?
At some point. I mean, every life was from the water at some point.
Right.
Everything came out of the water.
Right.
Even the mushrooms.
I've never done the mushrooms.
There used to be mushrooms like as tall as trees on the planet. This was trees like
Mario.
Plants as we know it. Yeah, like Mario. Like honestly, like Mario. Like
Mario is the first human ever.
They theorized that fungus were like the first dominant species on the planet. So like there were fungus forests, giant forests of mushrooms, like redwoods of mushrooms and stuff. And this was like hundreds of millions of years ago, before animals and all that shit. So there was giant forests of these mushrooms before trees even existed. It's like the only plants that were on Earth were mushrooms.
Okay.
Like, think about that. Like that's crazy. There were no trees. There were no leaves.
Did people live on top of the mushrooms or under the mushrooms?
People didn't exist. Not for another few 100 million years. Like,
did dinosaurs exist?
Nope. Probably before dinosaurs. Just giant mushroom forests with no animals. Is the only thing living on Earth was fungus. Like that was like the first land creatures was just mushrooms.
Walking mushrooms.
How boring. But it probably looked so cool. It probably looked insane, dude. A mushroom the size of this apartment building.
My mind is blown.
Yeah, mushrooms were definitely the first like life. It's so weird. Like all they need to do is just eat dead things. So why wouldn't they be the first ones?
Mushrooms can I eat? Do they eat?
They eat. They survive on byproducts of decomposing material, like nitrogen, just straight up.
So what was decomposing?
Whatever
other mushrooms?
As far as like multi-celled organisms and stuff, things that like actually appeared on land that weren't just in the water, mushrooms grew up on land, So it was like they were eating all the dead organic material that were the single-celled organisms. They were just surviving off of whatever was decaying, and there was an endless supply. of things that were decaying.
I didn't realize that this whole thing was like a science lesson.
I like talking about science, man. That's just one of my favorite things to talk about. I like talking about the world and like the earth and like, comet impacts and fungus and, like the ocean and whatever. Like,
what do you like to talk about? Fungus?
Whatever, space. Like, I like to talk about space. Supernovas.
Things that we don't know much about, but we kind of like know a little about.
Well, I mean, things that you know everything about, it gets boring.
Right.
It gets too boring. Like,
right.
We know, I can't talk too much about electrical. I know a lot about electrical. I was an electrician for a long time. So it's like, I can talk about it all day long, but it's boring as hell. Cause like,
what did you do with electrical work?
Well, I was in the Navy. I started as a nuclear electrician. So I went to school for that, which is like they call it the hardest school in the nation. Nuclear electrician school in the Navy is like supposed to be super difficult. But I got 6 months through that and I failed the final test. But the training I got in that 6 months was incredible. Like, I got so much knowledge. I know way too much about electricity now. Like, they taught us how to count in binary. They taught us like all these like tiny little micro components of certain electronics. Like, too much, way too much. And then I got out of the Navy and I did a couple weird little jobs like QT, and I worked for Discover Card for a little bit. And then I got to doing residential electrical. And then I just learned more about like actual, like real applications of electrical, like in houses and stuff. And then from there, I went to audio school, the Conservatory of Recording Arts and Sciences, the CRAS. I went to CRAS and I learned even a little bit more about like how electrical transfers into audio signals. And, so I have like this huge background in electrical, and it's just like there's not a lot of mystery to it, so I'm not like super interested. It's like I know a lot about it, but where's the mystery? There's nothing more to figure out. It seems like it's all been figured out already.
Right.
But that's just, I don't know, maybe that's just my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, maybe
there's more to it.
There's like more frequencies that we've never understood.
Oh yeah, man. You want to get into frequencies, I can go back to Egypt. It looks like there's like spots in the stones where they used frequencies to like liquefy the stones. It looks weird. Like,
what frequency?
I don't know. Like,
we don't know.
I've heard stories of people finding like certain frequencies that will manipulate like physical matter, that will manipulate the atoms in an element to be a certain like a state of matter, whether it's solid or liquid. You can change its malleability based on what frequency you're pushing through it.
I think you are confirming aliens.
Honestly, they probably figured it out. If they can travel all the way to Earth, they figured that shit out a long time ago.
Exactly.
Actually, we probably figured it out a long time ago, and we lost the knowledge.
Maybe the government just don't want to tell us.
Aliens are probably like, where are you? Like, where did you guys go?
We've been reaching out for years.
Like, why can't you fly yet? What's going on?
You're still walking? What?
Yeah, you guys are burning gas? What the fuck? Like, holy shit. Nuclear? God damn. Like, you guys are trying real hard in all the wrong ways. And like,
why did we waste that? It's like, this is why we left.
Yeah.
We check back sometimes just to see, but I mean,
the Egyptians were like levitating blocks of stone, and we're like driving cars on gas. Like,
that's how they made the pyramids.
We still don't know.
No,
we guess.
We just hired 1 million slaves to pull this block up.
Yeah, just lift it. Just pick it up.
You pull it over this pulley system. It'll take you like 5 years to pull this one block up.
Yeah.
Your kids will have to help you in everything.
The problem is, like, Once you lift that block up, all the equipment that was holding that block is gonna get crushed into the ground.
Right.
Like that's
and then we start on the next building for the next pulley system.
That's the problem with all these theories. Like, it's too much physical power for any of these things to deal with. Like,
right.
How the fuck did they do it?
And this block must look just like this block. You have to get it from 400 miles that way.
What really blows my mind, though, is like how all of them fit together. I don't know if you've seen those monolithic walls, like those mysterious monolithic walls that are like, they're literally all over the world. There's some in Japan, there's some in Egypt, there's some in fucking South America, and they're built together with these solid blocks of granite, and they're in odd shapes. They're not just squares like brickwork, like bricks we know. They're like in squares that don't match up on every corner, and they're like have odd angles, but there is no space or mortar in between them. They're literally stone on stone with like not even a fucking hair's width in between them. And it's like, how did they carve them to be that perfect shape? Like they had to soften it. They had to make it like dough to fit them together and push them into those shapes. Like there's no way they carved out solid rock that perfectly. Like they had to make it soft. But like we just don't know how to do it.
Yes.
It's so weird. Like they had to have some sort of frequency that softened the granite.
Whoever built them, they all died. They took their knowledge with them, and we're left knowing nothing.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, the problem is a comet hit the Earth.
After the pyramids.
Yeah, like a 2-mile high wave washed over all of the land.
How big?
Like a mile or two high.
Holy shit.
It's crazy, like beyond comprehension. It's higher than you could imagine. Just
have you ever been to the ocean?
Everything away. Yeah.
Those waves, when they get to like right here, they're scary. Yeah.
I've seen a video of like a 50-foot wave, somebody surfing like one of those record-breaking waves, and it looks scary as fuck. Like, and then like multiplying that by like 50.
Yes. Like when I fly, if I fly like 25 feet up, it's not scary at all. But once I go higher, it's a little scary because what if I fall?
Right. If it stops working.
Like if my cape gives out and I can't fly anymore.
Yeah. There's certain parts of the landscape that are like, they're like washed away as if like a big wave of water came through and like washed out the mountains. But it's like,
is that in California?
I think the biggest evidence of it is Washington State, but I think there's evidence of it here in Arizona, because the theory is that the comet impact hit the North Pole or near the North Pole, so the wave came from the north and washed south across the planet. I think that Arizona was probably like the lower end of that wave, since it was like the bottom of that continent. And a lot of the mud and silt washed through here. So if you look at a lot of the plateaus and stuff, like there's a lot of like hills that go up, and then it's just a sheer rock face up to a flat top. And it's like, how did that happen if water didn't just wash everything out? There would be some little islands left that didn't get destroyed by that water. That's all those mesas. That's my idea. Is that the mesas that are left over, if you drive from like Phoenix up to Flagstaff, like the I-17 north, you can see a lot of those mesas where they just have flat tops. And I feel like that was like the original land, like elevation, before that wave came through and washed everything out. That's just a theory, but it's like, how else were those mountains created without water?
Right. Very weird. Because when I come here, I try to learn about the city and stuff and the town. They say that a long time ago, it was one continent.
Yeah. Yeah, Pangea.
So did dinosaurs happen before or after that? When did the comet hit? Was it after Pangea?
The comet hit after Pangea, for sure.
Okay.
Pangea was a long time ago. That was when all the the land masses were still starting to settle and all the tectonic plates were still settling.
Right.
We don't know much about what happened before that, but there was a lot of movement since then. Like there's a lot of movement of the continents. It seems like the gravity of the Earth and that fucking rotating metal core we have is like pulling all the land masses and like evening them out. And there was when everything was on one side, I'm sure it was way more active, you know, and it kind of evened out and like all the tectonic plates kind of like settled. But you know, when is the next major event?
Right. Is the current form of the planet how it's going to be, or are we going to be neighbors with a different country soon?
Not soon. I mean, this is all on a scale that's gigantic.
Right.
But I mean, there's still volcanoes, so it's not done. You know, as long as there's still volcanic activity, it's still moving.
One day I will be able to walk to Australia.
Nope. No.
One day somebody will be able to walk to Australia.
Hopefully not.
Because
something would have gone terribly wrong.
I can walk to North Korea if I want to and shake hands with their leaders.
If you want to. No, I don't think you'd be able to walk there.
After the plates continue to move.
I don't know what the end goal is, but I don't think they're gonna. If anything, they're gonna continue to get closer to the Earth, and there'll be all ocean.
So the land will go down, and the ocean will come up.
That would be my guess.
We will all become mermaids.
That would suck. I like my legs.
The sharks will take over.
Yeah, I'd rather be on land. I don't want to fight sharks, man. Have you seen a whale shark?
No, I saw a movie a little while ago with Shark Man and Lava Girl. Right?
Shark Boy and Lava Girl?
Yes, because they have a baby.
They have a baby?
They have a baby. I don't know what the baby's name is, but it has shark strength and can manipulate water. It's on the Disney Channel.
I don't watch the Disney Channel.
It's a movie.
Do it.
No?
I can't do the Disney Channel, man.
I don't know if it's on the Disney Channel.
It sounds like a Disney movie.
It could be. But they have a team.
They have a whole team now?
They had a team because the daughter, she was like her and her classmates or whatever. They had a team and they had to. It's all pretend, really. But they had to. The parents got captured, and so they broke out of wherever they were, and they helped save everybody.
Sounds like a classic kids superhero movie.
Right. It was informative for sure. It tells you like the pros and cons of becoming a superhero. Like obviously people don't like you because you're better than them and stuff. But
have you seen The Boys?
The Boys, yes.
On Amazon?
Yes. It's a good show.
Damn, that show's cool. I honestly wish they left out a lot of the jokes. I think the jokes and the comedy really sucks. But everything else about that show is really cool.
I need to I watched a couple of seasons. I need to watch the rest.
It's pretty good. I hope they finish it up before they cancel it. Because like it left on a cliffhanger. And
did it? The last season?
Yeah, I really want to see.
Don't tell me about the last season.
Well, I'm not going to tell any details, but I just really want to see them continue the story. I want to see them end it. Like, I'm a really big fan of series that have an ending.
Before canceling.
I hate when seasons just try to go as long as they can.
A while ago, I binge-watched this series called Heroes.
Oh, my God. That's such a tragedy.
It was a good show. And then all of a sudden, it stopped.
There was a writer's strike.
Yes.
That's what happened.
And there's one right now.
Yeah. So a lot of shows are going to die. Fortunately, the shows I was watching, they were written before the strike happened. So that's good.
And I'm concerned because even though like it's all bullshit and it's all pretend anyways, it's nice to hear stories. You know, you like to see the superheroes come out on top instead of the millionaires of the world just like
canceling
everything.
Have you seen Invincible? It's another show on Amazon. It's animated.
Animated.
It's an animated superhero show.
The one with the dad. He kills the whole team.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have you seen it?
I saw one season. Is there more?
Oh my god. I think if there's a second season, like I don't know. I hope there's more. I know they left it off to make more. They left on a cliffhanger.
I think the son, he finally got good at flying at the end of the show.
Well, he learned his history. He learned who his dad was. And I don't want to give much away for the audience.
Right. But, go watch Invincible. It's a great show. It's kind of like My Story, but much less better.
It is so brutal. It's so fucking brutal. Like every episode, I was like, "Oh shit!"
Yes.
Like,
did not see that happening.
Yeah, like god damn, like
I thought I was watching a superhero team, and you killed everybody.
Yeah, it's like what The Boys should have been. Invincible is like The Boys, but with less humor. You know, like the jokes in The Boys kills it. Like they have like there's like some fucking guy in the prison, like they break into a prison or whatever to save somebody, and there's some villain who has like a long penis, like that's his power. Oh, and his penis comes up and chokes the dude, and it's like, wow, hilarious. Like I'm laughing so hard.
Right.
Like
we all have penises.
Yeah,
like
it's
that,
just
so, like,
it's retarded. Like, oh great, cool. Like, yeah, his penis extends. What a cool power. And like we're supposed to laugh. Like they made this huge scene about it.
Instead, we're all just jealous.
Yeah, it's like, man, making me feel bad over here.
I'm crying and you guys are making money.
Fucking just like Amazon, huh?
I mean, Amazon is... they like to make their money over there.
Yeah, that's all they want to do, man. That's all I want to do. I just want to make money. That's not true. If that was true, this podcast would look much different.
If you made money?
Yeah. If I made money, this podcast would look way different. That's for sure.
We would all be dressed in gold. We'd have our thrones.
I'd at least have a tie.
We would have tigers. And we would have women just fanning us. If you had money.
Yeah, but off camera.
Yes, off camera.
I don't need other people on camera.
we would be filmed off camera.
No, they could fan us from off camera. I don't want their fans getting in the way of the lighting and all that.
Right. Like, it takes too much to set all this up. This whole studio.
Yeah, this took like at least an hour to set up. I don't want to. This take too much time if I add more money to it. Yeah, honestly, the biggest obstacle I have is it's gonna feel too much like work at some point. Yes. If I keep doing too much, if I keep adding more to it, it's gonna feel like work, and it won't be fun anymore.
Right. That's the only reason I save the world, really. It's not because it feels like work. It's for fun.
Oh, like One Punch Man, like Saitama. Have you seen One Punch Man? Do you watch anime?
I don't.
There's one you should watch it just because of the your mission as a superhero. I think that you would understand this show really well.
Is it in English?
They have an English version. I recommend the subtitle one just because I like his Japanese voice. It's a really sarcastic anime. He's like a superhero for fun, but he's like overly powered and he kills everybody in one punch by accident. And he's like looking for a good fight.
That sounds like my boy Black Bolt. He kills people when he talks to him.
It's kind of like that, where he just gets frustrated. He's like, God damn it. I thought this was going to be a good fight. I killed him in one punch again. God damn it. Like, he gets all mad that he beat the guy in one hit, you know?
It is depressing.
The Japanese voice does the sarcasm so much better. Like, even if you're reading it, like, you can hear it in his voice. Like, he does not give a fuck about what's going on. Like, when he's talking to people.
Where can I find it?
Like, the English version is a little, like, I don't know. Kind of seems a little more cheesy.
Do I stream it?
One Punch Man. I forgot where that was. I know you can find it on if you search, I'll have to get you a link for it. There's a link I use for a streaming site for anime. It has pretty much every anime, and it's probably a legal gray area, but you might as well use it while it exists. Because like those gray area kind of websites are going away fast.
Like Napster?
Yeah, well, yeah, websites like that. But like the ones I mentioned earlier, like Solar Movie, Couch Tuner, like they're not super legal, you know. They're kind of showing copyrighted material they shouldn't be. But they claim that if they're not the ones that are providing the data, then they are not at fault.
They provide the platform.
Yeah, it's a gray area where it's like they could be shut down at any moment. You don't know.
Right.
You might as well just take advantage of it.
Are there ads?
Nope.
All right.
No ads. So I'll send you to it. I think it's like Kiss Anime or something like that. I'll have to send it to you. But they have pretty much most of the animes in dubbed and subbed. So you can see them in both versions. But One Punch Man was definitely a good one for you. I think you would relate to the hero.
All right.
You would understand.
I recently saw a superhero named Bible Man.
Bible Man?
Yes.
What is that from?
I don't know. The
Bible
90s?
From the 90s?
Yeah.
Like old VHS tapes?
What? I don't know. He apparently he just tells people how to be like really good people or something like that. He saves the world.
Have you seen a movie called The Crimson Bolt?
I have not.
Do you know Dwight from The Office?
Yes.
That crazy actor. He has crazy eyes. Like
The Office is one of my favorite shows.
Oh, okay, so you know Dwight.
Yes.
Okay. This guy plays in a movie called The Crimson Bolt, where he has, I think he plays a schizophrenic guy, but
schizophrenic is the best.
Yeah, he has this vision where God touches his brain, and like literally like a hand comes through his ceiling and touches his brain, and he thinks that he needs to become a superhero, so he makes a red costume by stitching together pieces of leather. So he's like this red leather costume guy.
Is this Dwight?
Yeah, and he carries a red pipe wrench. Like that's his superhero. He's
what
called
color?
the Crimson Bolt.
Is it beet red?
Yeah, it's just red.
It's from his beet farm.
Maybe it is from the beet farm. I don't know, but
right.
It's
he ties everything together.
It might be tied together. I wasn't really paying attention.
Where's Michael Scott?
I'm not super into The Office, so I wasn't looking for Office references. But there's one scene where he's in a movie theater line and somebody cuts in front of him, and he's like, "Hey, you can't cut in line." And they're like, "What are you gonna do about it?" You know, like, "Oh, fuck you," you know. And he's like, "All right." And he just literally walks across the street to his car, gets in, and like changes into this costume. And like everybody's looking at the car, it's like rocking, and like everybody's watching him. And then he gets out of the car in this costume, and he just hits the guy in the face with the pipe wrench. He's like, "You can't cut in line." Like that's his justice, you know. But that's like the whole movie. Like he just decides what justice is, and just we know he's on a mission from God,
right?
Because God made him the Crimson Bolt. Like he's just this crazy motherfucker. Like
I need to look this up. He sounds amazing.
Hilarious. Yeah, I think it's on Netflix. The Crimson Bolt. It's definitely a good movie. Like,
I will watch it tonight.
It got like no marketing, no advertising or anything. And I think it's hilarious.
I think this is my superhero.
Yeah, maybe.
If I get in trouble,
sure.
I call the Crimson Bolt.
If you like The Office, you'd like this movie. It's like The Office in a superhero movie. It's funny, super awkward. Like should he be doing this?
Yes.
Like, what the fuck?
I mean, if superheroes aren't funny, are they even super?
Oh man, this guy's definitely not super.
He
just has visions.
Right. Like as we all do, I'm sure.
It's just funny. He's like a superhero from God.
All right, I will definitely watch that one.
Yeah, that's a good one. I'm not sure of any other crazy superhero ones. Have you seen Kung Fury?
I have not.
That's a kind of a superhero movie. It's only like 40 minutes long. It's like this cop who he like chased down this kung fu master. He gets bitten by a cobra and struck by lightning at the same time.
Obviously,
gets some super kung fu powers, and like he ends up like going back in time to fight Hitler, and like it it gets crazy.
Hitler may have saved the world. We don't know.
Yeah. Maybe according to Kanye.
I mean, who can tell? That was almost 100 years ago.
Almost.
Like, have you seen The Butterfly Effect?
With Ashton Kutcher?
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen that movie.
If you change one thing, then it could be completely different. Who knows? Maybe everybody would be superheroes now. We'd have billions of superheroes in the world. Who would actually be the real superhero?
Yeah, I mean, it's like Superman on Krypton, you know?
Right.
Nobody's super on
Everybody
Krypton.
would be normal.
Everybody's normal.
But, I mean, really, he was not a nice guy at all.
Superman?
No, Hitler.
Oh, Hitler. No,
Yes.
no. He was not very nice.
He was a bad person.
Fundamentally.
But yes. But who knows what would happen today if those people were alive? Maybe they would have been the ones that were to push the bomb.
I don't know. I mean, maybe if all the things that happened to Hitler didn't happen, maybe he wouldn't have gotten to power.
So somebody would have needed to go beyond Hitler to, like, say, "Hello, Mr. Hitler, I know you're a baby, but be nice." And then he would have been a good boy.
Yeah, maybe if he had better parents.
Yes. Okay.
I don't know who his parents were, but
They were Mr. and Mrs. Hitler.
I probably. I don't know how naming was back then in Germany, but they were probably Mr. and Mrs. Hitler, or like, what was it, Herr and Frau Hitler?
Something.
Yeah,
like
I think that's what it is. Herr
Frau.
Hitler and Frau Hitler.
Frau is the only name back then.
Frau is like Mrs.
Oh,
It's
Mrs.
like lady, you know, like a title.
The only Frau I know is from Austin Powers.
Was it a
Right?
female?
Yeah, wasn't her name
Yeah,
Frau?
it's just like Mrs. or lady or like, you know, like.
So
it's
her name was Lady?
It's like a feminine, you know, formal, like, you know, it's like Mr. or
Frau
Mrs.
Farbissino or something.
Yeah.
Like, right?
Yeah, something like that. I don't remember from Austin Powers. I haven't seen those movies in a while.
Oh, hang on.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to rewatch those for sure.
I saw Goldmember a few weeks ago. It was great.
Yeah, Goldmember is a good one. I need to rewatch all of them in a row.
They're funny. I mean, they do the same jokes in every movie, but I mean, it's still funny.
And then Shrek. It's the same jokes. It's just an animated Austin Powers movie.
Exactly. It's still funny. I was told he's not the nicest person, though.
Who? Mike Myers?
Yes.
I don't know a lot about Mike Myers, honestly, but you know, I imagine
in the 90s, he was doing his thing.
I imagine the amount of fame, constant fame, probably warps your perception. You probably treat people differently after that.
Right. That's why I try to stay out of the limelight. You know, don't let too many people know about me. I don't want it to get to my head.
I wonder how Keanu Reeves does it.
He doesn't.
Like, what exactly does he do to stay out of it? You know, how does he stay away from that sort of trap?
I feel like he's in the trap.
He's not. Well, maybe he is, but he's not. He's not known for being an asshole. So what is he doing right? You know, like he has to be treating people in a way where they don't think he's an asshole. Like what about it? Like,
do you think Pete Davidson thinks he's an asshole?
I don't think he cares. I don't think he cares as much as Keanu Reeves would care. Keanu Reeves probably cares if he's an asshole or not. Pete Davidson, as a comedian, probably doesn't give a fuck
about Kanye West.
If you think he's an asshole or not. Or about Kanye West. Yeah, he doesn't give a fuck about Kanye West. That's for sure. If he gave a shit about Kanye West, like, the story would probably play out a little differently.
He would have thought differently before getting with...
Exactly. He would have thought twice.
He's like, wait a second.
He doesn't care.
Aren't you married to Kanye?
He's doing Taco Bell commercials. You think that guy gives a shit about his public image?
Oh, gosh.
He does not give a shit. He's making money. That's all he cares about.
He can pay somebody to do a video for him.
He does, I'm sure.
Is he still on the TV show?
Which one?
The Saturday Night Live?
I don't think so.
They like all left.
You know, they always rotate, but it stopped being good in like the fucking 90s, so.
After Chris Farley died.
Pretty much. I think it had a lot to do with being politically correct and the whole like angry mob forming in like the 2000s. You know? There's a media kind of went into a censorship kind of phase. We're like in the heat of it right now. God damn, there's so much censorship going on. Whether it be self-censoring or like outward just blocking people for saying like the word kill.
Right. You know? Kill is a good word. We kill all the bad.
It could easily be a good word.
Right. It should be a good word.
Yeah.
Like we kill the villains.
We kill our, you know, insecurities. We kill our, I don't know, bad habits. You know, kill.
Yes.
I don't know.
The kill switch.
You kill the cow to eat beef for dinner.
That's a win.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love beef. I've never had beef before I come here.
What did you eat?
I didn't eat. I didn't have to. That wasn't the thing where I'm from.
Where are you from again?
A different land. I'm from a different land with my two friends. And my guitar.
You never ate there.
No, it was not a thing. Why would we eat if we didn't have to? I come here and all of a sudden I'm hungry all the time.
Yeah, honestly, I'm super jealous. Like, I wish I didn't have to eat.
Right.
I like to.
Oh, I love to. Ever since I come here, I gained weight. I used to be like
Hugh Jackman.
Super ripped.
Wolverine.
Yes, and now all of a sudden I'm hungry all the time. I want to sleep. Like, what the fuck?
I'm gonna drink all the beers and eat a loaf of bread.
And I tried to drink those Trulies, but they don't love me anymore. They never loved me. Why would I love something that does not love me back?
I don't know. I had better luck with the original ones, the White Claws.
White
Claw. I had better luck with those.
Maybe I'd try White Claw. I think I'd try White Claw.
They're okay. They're kind of bland. But you know, I mean, it's for beer darts. It's not for drinking.
Right.
It's for playing games.
Right. That's game beer.
Absolutely.
I would never play darts with this beer.
No, that'd be a waste.
I would totally miss the whole floor or the cans. I'd go straight for the face.
Yeah. Straight for the face. You lose.
Right. You win right away. Nobody has to get drunk.
They quit. But you can dodge it. If somebody throws it at your face, you can dodge it real easy.
Really?
Yeah, man.
What kind of game is that?
You know, if you can, somebody's throwing a dart at your feet or at your face, you can tell. Like, you got to be paying attention, you know? If somebody throws it at you.
That's why you use Truly, because then nobody actually gets drunk.
Yeah, well, like I said, you're usually pretty buzzed before you get there.
Oh.
You know? So usually, like, the idea of beer darts usually comes up when you're already, like, going. You're like, oh, hey, let's play beer darts.
When you already want to make bad decisions.
Yeah, like, oh, it's about time. Okay. We make a bad decision. Let's play some beer darts.
And they say, yes, let's do it. I'm down to miss body parts tonight.
Well, it just puts a little, you know, puts a little nick on your shin. Usually just get hit in the leg. if somebody misses. But
Okay.
actually, usually people don't get hit, but I've seen someone get hit in the shin. It's pretty funny.
And you call the paramedics right away.
No, you just put a Band-Aid on it. I don't know.
And
Paramedics, like, what are you talking about? We're not using guns, just darts.
Beer guns.
Yeah, you just put a Band-Aid on it, you're fine.
We shoot the can, and if the bullet goes through the can and into you, then oh well.
Well, if you're hitting a person with a... Man, just aim better. Just aim better.
But it's between your legs, right?
Yeah, just shoot. Just aim. Use the sights.
Does the bullet go through?
It'll definitely go through a can. What gun are you using here? Like a BB gun?
No.
A BB gun would go through maybe like one layer.
An
of the
AR-15,
can.
right?
You go through several cans. Every can that was behind the first would get hit.
You have to use the same gun that everybody uses in this country.
Let's just use a bow.
A boat?
A bow.
A bow and arrow.
Yeah, like my compound bow, you know?
Yes. Like my buddy Clint.
Clint?
Yes.
He uses a bow?
He does, yeah. He does all the cool stuff. He jumps off buildings and he shoots aliens with his bow and arrows. Clint.
Is that like from
Clint Barton?
I don't know him.
No?
No.
He's friends with like Tony and Steve.
I thought those were made up.
Those are made up, but Clint is real.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
He's just had lots of training. He doesn't have any superpowers.
Yeah, that always kind of weirded me out in the movie. Like,
Yeah.
how's he holding his own with Iron Man, like the Hulk?
Well, he has some technology, but he don't have superpowers.
Yeah, he doesn't have enough technology though.
Like with enough training, you can use weapons for your advantage, but it's not like it make you fly or give you strong, like good strength. Captain America is bullshit. I mean, what? They inject him with stuff and then all of a sudden he's stronger?
Yeah, they didn't really explain that one very well.
No, and then they freeze him. What the fuck?
He froze and survived.
Yes, it makes no sense.
Just in a glacier.
Clint is a freaking human.
You crash in a glacier, and then you can freeze and wake up 50 years later.
Makes no sense. and then his buddy, his buddy Bucky, I mean, he falls off a train and then he's like alive again because they kept him alive and gave him a metal arm?
I don't know.
And then he hasn't aged one day?
Yeah, that was even a more confusing story.
Yes.
I don't know how he's a super soldier.
I mean, that's all pretend. It's just movie magic. But Clint, I mean, I saw him. He was doing all the stunts. He even saved a bunch of... he saved, like, his family member a couple months ago. He's in rough shape, but, whatever.
Yeah. What was that story again?
There was, like, a tractor about to fall on his, like, nephew or something, so he saved him.
Yeah. He didn't get like injured or anything, did he?
Oh, he got messed up.
Fuck. I remember hearing about that. Like, I forgot all the details though. Is he good to make more movies or is he done? Like,
I don't know. I don't talk to Clint that much.
Yeah, I mean,
he's busy making his pretend movies and stuff.
Pretend movies.
Yeah.
With Disney. Fucking Disney, Marvel.
Right. But, like, I mean, if you want to use a bow and arrow, call him up.
Yeah.
Have him on your team. You win right away.
I'm pretty good with a bow myself.
Yeah.
I've got a bow.
Or you can call his friend Kate. She's good, too.
Yeah.
Kate Bishop?
Kate Bishop. Which one is that?
She came on the series last year. Hawkeye and Kate Bishop. I don't know what that was called. It was on TV.
Oh. So
it's like the spin-off episodes.
The spin-off Hawkeye.
Yes.
I didn't watch any of the Marvel shows like S.H.I.E.L.D. and all that.
Yeah. It's mostly bullshit. It's all pretend.
Yeah.
But like the ones that don't have the powers, that's real.
I just like the old Marvel movies. Like the first Iron Man was really good.
Oh.
I like the second Iron Man. That one was kind of cool. The first Thor was cool. when Disney acquired it and started just blowing up the budget, everything got really weird. Like I don't know, everything got really strange. But those original, when they were first starting up the Marvel Cinematic Universe,
right. Cool. Not like the 1990s Captain America or anything.
I don't care about any
of
those.
Bullshit.
I haven't seen any of those.
Yeah,
it's like the original Star Trek. They just all are like, eh.
You ever watch the Howard the Duck movie?
No,
I haven't either. It looks like bullshit.
Yeah, I heard it was really bad. I heard it was super disappointing, even to like the people who are into the universe. They were all like, ugh, what a joke.
Yeah.
I hear they really failed on that one. They could have done a lot more.
I've never even seen it. I do not want to see it. It will make me feel bad for being a superhero. I would be like, I cannot.
Even the Deadpool movies were like, I get, like it could have been cool, but they just had too many jokes that were just like, I don't know, just too cheesy. It was just like too corny.
The problem with the movies is they have to portray the actor or the character how they are in written form in the comics. Yeah. And sometimes that translates well to film and sometimes it does not.
Yeah. Yeah, I think unfortunately it was more about like it was more about like what they were allowed to put on the screen versus what was not allowed.
Yes.
And it's like they had to like play that line.
Right.
And write a rated R movie without going too far.
It's like we want to write it where people die, but we want people to be able to watch it too. So not everybody can die.
Yeah. Well, they can't die in certain ways.
Right.
It's not allowed. It's too gruesome. Like Deadpool in the comics, he would like literally blow somebody up and then like brush their intestines off his shoulder.
And then he'd laugh and eat a chimichanga afterwards.
Yeah, and like whatever. But like in the movie, you can't do that.
Right.
It's too gross. Too brutal.
I get
it. They wanted kids to watch it, but still have it rated R. You know?
Did they want kids to watch it?
Yes. Like don't kid yourself. They wanted the biggest audience possible.
I would like to watch
it. They had to make it rated R.
Right.
Because people died. So they might as well drop F-bombs too.
Might as well. Let's just go as far as we can.
Yeah, it's already rated R. Whatever.
We have to.
The kids are going to watch this shit anyways. Maybe not in theaters, but they'll watch it.
Because the parents will be like, yeah, let's watch it.
Yeah, the dads will be like, oh, watch this movie.
And then the moms would be like, don't watch that movie.
Yeah. And the dads will still show it. They'll still put it on.
Oh, yeah, of course.
That's fine.
You have to learn to kill somebody someday anyways.
It's useful information.
Yes. I mean, they talk about many things like heroes and villains and destruction of people. Right? Bars. He goes to the bar sometimes. Mm-hmm. You have to have your group of friends at the bar.
Well, I mean, I don't have a group of friends at the bar. I go to bars sometimes, but I don't have like a group of friends there or anything.
You don't go there and you just know everybody?
I think that's been like an American like stigma for a while that like, oh, you go to a bar and you have like your friends at the bar.
It would be nice, right? Because then you would never feel like
nice.
I have to make friends now.
Yeah.
Don't you hate making friends?
I hate that I have to make friends. I wish they just appeared. You know, like in a sitcom.
Okay.
Just, oh, I have friends.
Yes.
Like, no, you have to work on it.
You have to like
keep them.
You have to listen to them, and that's annoying.
Yeah, I'm sometimes.
You have to
like,
hear their new problems, and you have to tell them your problems.
Not like that, but most of the time you have to actually show up. You have to exist in the same space they do.
Right.
That takes a lot of work nowadays. I don't know why.
You could just text them and be like, "Hey, where are you at?" And then they'll say, "I'm over here.
I'm at work. Can't hang out." Every fucking time.
Right. You'd be like, "Well, I'm sitting at home. Come hang out with me."
Let's schedule out for 2 weeks in advance.
Right.
You know, like,
what does your schedule look like for next year.
Yeah, exactly. It's bullshit. Like
Life.
I feel
That's
like
the problem with this country. Everybody's so focused about their life that they don't focus about like saving each other from all the shitty music. That's why I have to come and do this all for you.
Yeah, that makes sense, man. Not a lot of people are focused on anything outside of their own little bubble.
Right. You think it's different elsewhere?
I doubt it.
Everybody everywhere is just like, I have to go to work so I can afford to live.
Makes sense to me.
It's all bullshit.
It definitely is all bullshit. It's just a manufactured system.
Right.
Keep the fucking wealthy people at the wealthiest.
When did that all start?
Whew, that's hard to say. I'm not a huge history buff, but I'm going to guess around 1880-ish. 1850, 1880.
Not before?
There. I think the Industrial Revolution really kicked that shit off.
Okay.
When industrial factories really started picking up.
Right.
Like in America and Europe. I think that's when it really fucking shit hit the fan with capitalism. And like people trying to create monopolies on purpose. You know the whole Carnegie Steel and fucking all that shit from the 1920s. Like that's when monopolies really fucking started. And people really started to see the power of owning the entire industry of manufacturing, So it got like it kind of blew up in that era. Like world banks and stuff existed before then. But as far as like the industrial power of like owning a business that incorporated literally every field of manufacturing, like that shit started happening like, in the industrial era. It's like 1850s to like 1900, around there. Like that.
So you have all been dealing with this for a while.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You're just born into a system that you just have to comply, otherwise you live in the park.
Yes. The internet has made it worse.
That's all bullshit. It's like, hello, I'm here. I'm ready to like live. And the only way I can live is by conforming to a system that is bullshit.
Yep. All I can say really is that I'm glad I was born in America. Because being born in another country, like...
Australia. They have kangaroos.
Australia might be okay.
Canada.
They don't have guns.
They have moose in Canada.
Either. They don't have the gun laws that we do. I like to be able to like go buy a weapon to protect myself. That's cool.
You cannot do that everywhere else?
In Australia? Fuck no.
Can you buy a kangaroo? They will punch everybody.
You can just capture one. They're everywhere. You can just go fucking lasso one. You're good.
Do you have to have a horse?
I don't know.
Do you have to be from Arizona and be a cowboy to lasso?
No. You can be from Texas.
You can be from Texas and lasso your own kangaroo.
You just have to practice with a rope, dude. You just have to know how to tie the knot. And
do they have ropes in Australia?
I'm sure they lasso things in Australia. There's a bunch of cowboys out there too.
Australian cowboys.
Yeah, they just don't.
Do they have Australian accents?
Yeah, of course.
How does Australian cowboy sound?
That's a good question. I have to look that up.
Can you try it?
No. I love the Australian accent. I'm really bad at it. It's one of the reasons I really like Dragon Ball Z. It's because like the main voice actor, Christopher Sabat, he does a lot of Australian accents for a lot of the characters, and it's fucking hilarious. Like he's really good at it. Like a lot of the weird characters just have Australian accents for no reason, and they sound really good. It's like, man, this guy he literally voices Vegeta and Piccolo, like the two major characters. And then he voices a bunch of side characters, like all the fucking walk-in characters. They're all Christopher Sabat, and half of them have Australian accents for no reason. Like he's not Australian.
That's very weird.
He's just like decided that these characters are gonna be like, oi, yo, oi, I'm gonna fight you. They just have this weird Australian accent. Like, okay. Christopher Sabat. He's one of my heroes.
That's weird. And where are they from?
I have to look it up. I'm pretty sure he's American. Just making these Australian accents.
Where is the episodes filmed?
Filmed?
Yes.
They're just animated.
Where are they animated?
Japan.
So you have an American filming a Japanese.
Well, they're all originally Japanese voice actors. They all have original Japanese voices.
Right.
And then they redid it in English, and they used a bunch of American voice actors.
Right. So you have an American filming a Japanese TV show with an Australian accent.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's awesome. He just, like, out of all the voices he does, like,
do they
the
incorporate
Australian accent's easy for him.
Do they have kangaroos in the show?
There might be.
Or koalas?
They have dinosaurs.
Which are from Australia.
There's probably dinosaurs in Australia, yeah.
Which happened before Pangea.
Couldn't tell you. I wasn't there, so I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, that's just interesting to me, like that Australian accent from Dragon Ball Z. I fucking love that shit. I don't know why.
I will have to see a clip. It sounds so weird.
Yeah, Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball's. Honestly, if you've never seen Dragon Ball Z, you gotta watch Dragon Ball first. And it's a little rough. The animation's rough because it's from like the 80s.
Right.
But it's hilarious. Like there's a lot of comedy, and it's really funny. Like they're really good at their jokes.
It's like the best, right? That's what I think you said.
It's a classic.
It's a classic, so it's like above.
There's a reason it's still popular today.
Right,
like
because they have Australian accents.
Yeah. Like Futurama. Everybody fucking loves Futurama. Like nobody dislikes it, you know? Nobody dislikes Dragon Ball. If you sit there and watch it all the way through, you're not going to dislike it. It's a fucking good show, you know, just through and through. It's going to be hard to find things wrong with it other than like the rough animation. But the technology they were working with back then, they literally had to draw everything by hand. So it makes sense.
Right.
But if you can look past that, like the dialogue and the writing, it's fucking hilarious. Like that show's good. There's a lot of jokes, like more jokes than you would think. It's almost like a comedy that just has fighting.
And that's from the 80s.
Yeah, it's a good one. But
you have a lot of things you have to send me.
Yeah, so what is it? I got to send you...
You can just watch this episode and tell me.
Yeah, I'll rewatch the episode. That'll have to be it.
I'm sorry you have to sit through the whole thing all over again.
It's fine. I'll figure it out. But it's been a nice conversation with you, man.
Yeah.
It's good learning more about you and what you're trying to do with this.
Well, as long as I have more superhero musicians to join me, I can probably play more shows. The hardest part is getting to the facility myself, especially when I can't fly straight, setting everything up, and then doing the whole entire show. I mean, if I only did a percentage of it, it would be a lot easier.
Dude, I feel the same way. I do this whole podcast on my own, and it feels like a lot sometimes.
Right. I mean, so the help would definitely be helpful. I have probably another 10 to 15 albums worth of material.
Okay. That's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely going to be telling a story with the whole thing. So I have lots of stuff to choose from. And then everybody just has to pick an instrument and we perform and, save the world. You don't have to be a part of the corn store. I understand. Corn's not for everybody. Some people like rice. Some people like potatoes. It's going to be different.
Well, you're in America, so everyone here loves corn.
Everybody loves corn. Everybody I've met, I'm like, you like popcorn? And they're like, yeah. So some people don't like it because of the teeth thing, but we have floss.
Well, that's just me. I'm a weirdo. Whatever.
Brush your teeth and maybe it'll be okay.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, it was good having you.
Yes.
I think it was a good episode. I think people will enjoy it.
I appreciate the time, for sure.
For sure, man. We'll have you on again.
I would appreciate that.
Next time you save the world.
Right. Maybe I should release a song or two another couple songs.
Something to promote, you know.
Right.
To plug.
Right.
Maybe once you get your corn store up and going.
Then I could like make money the real way.
Yeah.
Because right now, nobody wants to hire somebody who look like me. They say, oh, you need to have your whole face shown, or, you know, we don't accept superheroes here. Some prejudice still in the country.
Whatever. Make your own business.
Right.
Start your own LLC and get out there.
Right. I'll have like a Cartoon Network and a different... Maybe we can do like drama TV of like real people really dying or something. And maybe I could like put together a label of musicians who are also superhero who don't get represented from the others labels.
All right, sure. All right, man. Well, I hope you can build a team up soon. I want to see you. I want to see you on stage, fucking saving the world.
I think in fall I might book some stuff. It's too hot in the summer here.
No, I
but
agree.
in the fall, last year, it was like October, and it started to get a little cooler out.
Yeah, usually.
Unless I get a updated suit that has better breathing and an air conditioning system.
Here's some fishnet.
Okay. I will show up like almost naked. You just see little threads on me.
Just like some triangles of your nipples. And
Heck yeah. Dude, my nipples are holy shit. Amazing.
All right, man. Well, it was good talking with you.
Likewise.
All right. Well, I'll be back on later.
All right, man.